Hey guys, and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be filming a very special video for you guys, and that is how I got my period back. So it's been a long while since I had last had my period. I last had my period like reoccurringly and periodically in October of 2016, and since then, or no, not October 26th, October of 2015. And since then, it has been like a roller coaster. I had gotten it like once or twice in 2017 and then never again until just recently. So I'm really excited for that, and I wanted to kind of share with you guys how I got it back. So first, I kind of want to say that I'm not a doctor and I'm not a professional, but I am merely saying like what worked for me. And if you're struggling with this as well, maybe try these things, but if they don't work out for you, don't beat yourself up over it. Everyone's body is different. Everyone's body is going through something that at the end of the day, certain things might work for it and certain things might not. But I found these really helpful in my experience, and maybe you will too. I also want to mention that I had lost my period because of going through an eating disorder, and that being said, if you lost your period maybe to something else such as like over exercising or not eating disorder related, these could still possibly work for you, but just reconsider the fact that everyone might lose their period for a different reason. Therefore, certain things that I might have done to get my period back might be different from what you might have to do to get your period back. But nevertheless, getting your period back is such an amazing feeling, and I would honestly just try anything. So if you really like these ideas and you think you could apply them into your life, then go for it. So again, I'm gonna start off by listing, I made a list on my phone of 10 things, my top 10 things that I feel gave me back my period. And so we're going to go to number one. So number one was point blank eating more food. So definitely I could tell like when I was in my eating disorder that I was not eating enough, obviously, and I needed to be eating more food. But sometimes it just so happened that I eat more food and then I still wouldn't, like 6 months into it, I still wouldn't have gotten my period back. And I think that's just a sign to show how much repair your body has to do. So don't think that this journey to get your period back is just going to be a quick fix. It takes time. For me, it took up to 3 years to get my period back, and that's taken a lot of patience and effort. So just bear with yourself and just show yourself grace throughout the whole process. But it does definitely start with eating more. You have to remember that your period is a bodily function, and without proper nourishment, your body just shuts down certain systems that aren't necessary. So right now, your body doesn't think you're in a desperate need to have kids or to shed, so it turns that system off in order to save the rest of the energy to keep other more vital systems going. So also keep that in mind, and eating more food will definitely help your body realize that it can trust you again, and then it will eventually with time restart that system. Another thing I would say is very important is resting. I get so many messages of people asking me whether or not you're supposed to exercise in recovery, and honestly, no.
Oh no! No!
I would not recommend exercising in recovery. Whether you've had a good relationship with it or a bad relationship with it, I would still not recommend it, because your body is in a state where it really needs to repair, and exercising will only put more added stress onto the body. Taking time to rest and just take naps when you feel like it, because you will feel tired, and just making sure you're taking care of yourself is a great way to kind of give your body time to just relax and repair all the things it needs. And also, without exercising, you might find that you might possibly get your period back faster, because with more time to rest and repair, it'll have more time to maybe reactivate those systems that might have shut down, such as your period. Another thing, this kind of goes with Also, number 3 would be something that kind of goes with what I was talking about earlier about eating more food, is eating more protein and fat. Now, I did notice that when I was recovering, I wasn't really eating a lot of protein and fats. I was eating more carbs, and I feel like that kind of went with the extreme hunger where I'd really only crave sweets and really calorie dense stuff that didn't happen to really be protein or fat. So I feel like that kind of not prevented, but like prolonged me getting my period. And it wasn't until this past April when I met with a dietitian and set up my outpatient team and kind of worked on eating more fats and protein that I really got my period back. And I feel like, especially being vegan, it was kind of hard at first because I wasn't really, before meeting with my outpatient dietitian, I was never really properly aware of really how much protein I needed and how much fat I needed in my diet. And learning about that and making sure I was getting enough, I feel really helped me get into the right mindset on how to nourish myself being vegan and being plant-based, so that I was able to get my period back. But whether you're vegan or not, it's still something really highly recommended to be eating a lot of protein and a lot of fats, because that keeps your body satiated, it keeps you full, and it also, protein is necessary in order to help build your muscle again and kind of just like balance everything out, as well as hormone levels. Number 4 also again goes with the whole no exercising. I made this another thing because I think it's very important, is no excess cardio. So no going on runs, no going on like strenuous walks, because what I found is intense cardio prevents you from getting your period, or it prevented me from getting my period. I noticed I run a lot, and I used to run a lot, like not necessarily because of my eating disorder, but because I was training for half marathons and all that kinds of stuff, and a lot of races too. So I found that when I was running a lot, it was giving my body a lot of like things to stress about, and I wasn't really taking time to rest. So that kind of, I feel like, inhibited my period. And therefore, if you're a runner and you lost your period, maybe taking a break would be the best thing. Even if you losing your period isn't eating disorder related, again, running, I feel like, puts a huge stress on the body and can cause people to lose their period. So definitely staying away from that for a little while could help. I'm not saying to stop running altogether. I mean, right now in my life, I'm working on running once a week, just whenever my family goes on a run, and not running as like obsessively as I did back when I was struggling with my eating disorder. But yeah, just being very cautious about when you're exercising and what things you're doing. Again, I highly recommend you do not exercise. Basically what I'm trying to say is don't exercise and don't do cardio. I also want to note, as my number 5, that you should not stress about food. Now, again, the whole idea of losing your period is because your body is in a state of stress. Your body's stressed because it's not getting enough food. Your body might be stressed because it's being pushed to do so many things, such as like working out and doing cardio, but also it might be stressed with the thought of food. So if you're constantly thinking about food and what to eat and when to eat, and oh, this is too much, this is too little, what am I going to do with this? That's stressful, not just for your body, but for your mind. So when your body is so stressed about that as well, that could also inhibit you from getting your period back. So for me, what really helped was trying to be as carefree as possible with my food, not labeling food good or bad, but just eating whatever I felt like it, and just eating what felt right in the moment, and not really worrying about compensating or doing this or that. Basically doing recovery in a good way. So I will leave a link in the description box below, but there's a beautiful woman who has been doing this kind of all-in experiment. Her name is Stephanie Buttermore, and she's been doing awesome. I applaud her so much. She's so inspiring, and she's a perfect example of someone who is just being carefree and eating till she is fully satiated and not judging food. And it's such an inspiration to watch her grow, and I only wish I could have seen her do this while I was really struggling, because that would have, I know, really inspired me to do the same. And if you're struggling, I highly recommend watching her videos because they're very inspiring. For my 6th tip, I would want to stress the importance of seeking professional help. I noticed that suddenly, after meeting up with my outpatient team and working with them for a couple months, I finally got my period back. I'm not saying the same is going to happen to you if you suddenly start seeing a team and then miraculously get your period back a couple months later, but I am saying that with proper help and guidance, you can get there. So it's okay to do it on your own. I'm not judging anyone for choosing to do it on their own, but it's okay to get help, and I'm here to tell you that it's okay to get help. So don't be afraid to get the help that you deserve and the help that you need, and they can only help you. They're not out to get you. So number 7 would be hanging out with friends. So I found that my social life really expanded when I started recovery. Like, I wasn't as scared to hang out with people anymore. So definitely taking time to hang out with other people, I think, kind of validates the fact that you are worth it, and kind of just reinforces yourself that you're loved and that you're cared for. And yeah, that kind of helped me, I think. Just being surrounded by people that I know care about me, and just validating that feeling that there are people out there that want to hang out with you and be around you, and you are a light that people are attracted to. Number 8 would be practicing self-care. So I found that when I showed my body love and approached her with compassion, that I felt a lot better and I wasn't stressing so much about myself. Again, everything's linked with stress. So definitely practicing self-care, doing face masks like not every other day, but like twice a week, doing like bubble baths, just taking care of my body, going to the pool, just chilling by the pool, reading a book, setting time aside to do my favorite things. And yeah, taking care of my body definitely was something that I think helped contribute to that, because if I compare the state I was in last year with the state I'm in now, I definitely have much more love and appreciation for my body than I did before, and I think that had a big impact on me getting my period back. 9 is taking on new hobbies. So if you guys haven't watched my other video, get to know me video, I've recently taken on knitting, and I'm almost done knitting my blanket, but that was whatever, I didn't need to say that. But taking on new hobbies is definitely a good way to separate your mind from the eating disorder mindset. So I took on a lot of hobbies. I took on painting, journaling, making these videos, writing, starting my bracelet line. And when you invest your time into things that bring you joy, you find your eating disorder voice has less airtime. So that focusing on something that I was passionate about gave me so much joy and happiness and motivation that I feel like my body felt like safer and like happier in a way. I think that your mind has a major implication on setting your bodily systems, and definitely like letting your period come back and activating that. So yeah. And my final tip is patience. So yes, I noted earlier that it took me almost 3 years to get my period back, and it was a struggle. Like, it was not easy, but it was definitely worth it, and I highly recommend you try it. And it's never like not worth it to try and get your period back, and because we are all deserving of a period. I think giving life and just being a woman is like one of the most amazing things ever. And even not having my period and then the gift of having it back is so much more like gratifying, I feel, because when I was younger and I had my period, I had like no respect for it. I just dreaded it like every single month. And now like I look forward to it, not in like a creepy way, but just like I'm grateful, because it reminds me that one day I'll be able to give life, and one day I'll be able to contribute to this earth, and like I am a woman. So yeah, I just think that's beautiful, and I hope you, wherever you are on your journey, like get to experience that one day. And I really hope these tips helped you, and I will love to answer any questions you might have in the comments below. And if you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Zoe. I'm 18 years old, and I post vegan videos, college, lifestyle, and kind of just mental health and eating disorder recovery. So if you're interested in that, be sure to click the subscribe button below, as well as the bell icon so you know when I post videos next. But other than that, as I always say, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.